Hi, this video is going to be very unscripted and messy. I just wanted to get my thoughts out. Pillar Chase 2 is a game I hold very near and dear to my heart. I've been playing as long as MX and Fresh King have been in the game, and I only really seriously started playing when Inkfell dropped. I remember the night my friend Bonnie told me to hop on the game, as it would be cool. I have over 300 hours in this game. I started playing Pillar Chase 2 at a point in my life that was not great. I didn't have a lot to look forward to when I got home, and Pillar Chase was there. I would get home from school and go to the little guest room we have, the Xbox in it, and just hop on Pillar Chase. I've met a lot of great people through this game that I'm still friends with and enjoy talking to. I love so much about this game, its chase themes, its atmosphere, its vibes, its inherent goofiness and silliness, the way it celebrates internet horror. It's something that was just so special, and every other ASIM game I've played, their gameplays just never captivated me as much as Pillar Chases did. This game means a lot to me and to many, many other people, and it just breaks my heart to see the purge of so many characters, the core identity of what Pillar Chase was, just being stripped away from it day after day. I've seen some developers say that Recode was giving Pillar Chase an identity, as it never really had one before, when I think that's just not true. I'm not scripting here, so I can't really think of a good word for it, but Pillar Chase had the vibes and energy that the Smash community did. It was fun to see new monsters released, to guess who is next, to think about who could be next in the game, who could be added and who couldn't. It was genuinely exciting to interact with the community. But a lot of that is just gone now. With all the concerns about copyright, so many monsters being removed, the whole EXE situation not being communicated to Raven, it's just not the same Pillar Chase I grew to love. I've been going on off tangents here, so I'm just gonna highlight how we got here, I suppose. Sonic EXE, the disaster, got taken off Roblox, and this caused a big freak out amongst a lot of games. Out come Memories, and especially Pillar Chase. After just had recently collabing with Oni, this caused a bunch of characters to get removed from the game. PCX, Springtrap, Baldi, Vita Mimic, etc. At the time, morale was pretty low amongst the PC2 community. We didn't know the fates of these characters, whether they would come back or if they would be stuck to being removed for good. A little bit later on, Blade announced a recode to the game. This would presumably fix a lot of the issues the game was purged with. Whether this be issues with the gameplay itself, such as downtime, monster balancing, etc. At the time, I was hopeful for Recode. I thought it would keep mostly everything the same, just fixing things under the hood and fixing gameplay issues that needed to be addressed, such as slide abilities and downtime. But Recode wasn't that. Sometime later, Recode testing opened. I had joined optimistic, but left thoroughly disappointing. So much have changed that it's practically just a different game at this point. Third person, classes, sliding, global objectives and exits. It all just wasn't Pillar Chase. There was a lot of things that I genuinely liked about Recode. I think the ability to use medkit on others, the monster walls, I think these were all really great additions. The improvement on monster models, the inclusion of multiple sound effects for different moves, that's all fantastic. I love a lot of the conceptual stuff. Stonehusk, which now no longer is the Springtrap replacement, but the idea of his map being a carnival similar to the rumor that FNAF 3 was going to take place in a theme park, that's so good. But the core Survivor gameplay had just changed so much to a point where it just wasn't fun. I'll go through my issues that I complained about and just kind of sweep through these real quick. Third person. Third person in retrospective doesn't seem all too bad, but I feel Pillar Chase's first person locked point of view gave so much immersion, and it had gameplay elements too. If you wanted to look around a corner, you had to physically present your body, putting you at risk of being seen by the monster. And I think that's so good, which third person kind of removes a lot of that challenge. It makes it so you can turn your camera. Before, if you were doing a task that was in front of you, you couldn't see behind you. You had to commit to that task. You could be in danger, and that was the whole point. But now, when you're doing a task, you can just go third person and switch your camera to the front of you so you can see the back of you. It just feels a lot less scary, a lot less immersive. Global tasks. Pillar Chase had a problem with downtime. After you finished your tasks, there wasn't a whole lot to do. And upgrades were supposedly the solution to that, but that honestly made it worse. Upgrades often made you avoid monsters more, which was the only thing you were doing after you'd finished your tasks. That wasn't just doing nothing, so it made more time doing nothing. Global tasks are what I feel a cheap solution to fixing the downtime issue. It guarantees some player tasks during the entire match, but for those who are struggling behind will have less time doing tasks. It's a double-edged sword that I feel is just overall worse for Survivor downtime. It's just a different taste of randomized downtime rather than a solution to make everybody have consistently less downtime. It feels just like a crappy little bandage put over a huge gaping wound that only sort of temporarily fixes the issue. Exits ruin a lot of the tension Pillar Chase had with this feeling of being trapped with the monster, having to run down the time. Exits really lessen how threatening a monster feels in a round. Sliding in classes. These were the two core features that fucked up pre-code the most. Sliding broke so many slower monsters, as well as so many abilities, made playing monster frustrating or downright unplayable. Look at Uncle Samsonite. I feel sliding should just be removed outright, never come back. It doesn't really do anything in the grand scheme of things, and abilities and classes just shouldn't be here. I understand wanting to make Survivor more diverse, but I feel you can do that in which the tasks or things you have survivors do rather than just making them stronger against the monsters, which they already are with their superior stamina management and speed. When it was announced that in April pre-code would officially be discontinued, I guess that was when it finally just hit me that the Pillar Chase I loved, the one with local tasks and a more immersive first-person experience, one that could be scary and goofy, one that celebrated internet horror as a whole, was gone. I really hoped people enjoyed Recode, but it made my little heart break that I didn't, and that Pillar Chase, a game that was there for me at my lowest point, that was there to comfort me when no one else could, is gone. Recode is not Pillar Chase. At least not Pillar Chase 2. Could be Pillar Chase 3, but it is just a fundamentally different game. I had already sort of accepted at this point Pillar Chase was gone. And then whatever happened at the time of recording was today. happened. Precode got updated with all the new characters, half of them unfinished with their models just sloppily edited sometimes. PCX was there fully, so was Tinky, but all the skins were just the same. Springtrap's default skin was just the pixelated one, but gray, but his bronze and every other one that just had his base model but recolored was there. It was so strange and bizarre, and it was the announcement of so many beloved characters just not coming to recode. It just felt hard to care. It felt hard to be passionate about this game anymore. That has changed so drastically from what I loved about it, and had removed anything that people resonated with. This is the point, officially, where I just can't care to see what happens with Player Chase anymore. They left Precode in a buggy mess. It might stay up, but abilities, slide, crappy maps, monsters, it all just feels so half-baked, unfinished, left in a broken state just to appease us rather than fixing what was good, just remaking it from the ground up. It's hard to not feel a little betrayed, having spent so many hours in this game and loving it, to just have the devs, instead of fix what was already there, just make something different entirely. I wish I liked Recode, but its fundamental gameplay is just not fun to me. Before Recode was even announced, I had spent months just building hypothetical reworks to Precode's already existing base, adding post-task mode, maybe extra collectibles like coins. Even I've been working on my own game based off this concept of what Precode's fundamental structure would look like if built upon rather than changing to Recode. But it's kind of hard to care anymore. Every other ASIM game, I usually left about a month after playing due to some factor, but Pillar Chase just kept me coming back, and it just doesn't anymore. The part of it that I did like is just left in a unfinished state, and the part that's being worked on actively I don't enjoy. It breaks my heart to just say I don't care for Pillar Chase anymore, that I'm done, that whatever else happens, whatever monsters they add, whatever happens with Recode, I just can't find enough inside of me to care. I just miss... I know it's stupid, it's dumb to say, because it's like this little fucking TikTok baby is like, I remember Prime Pillar Chase, but I just miss Prime Pillar Chase. Before the abilities update, I miss that. I miss everything before that. But that's all gone now. And I guess this video is just my final piece on that. The last little bit of care I have to exert into Pillar Chase is this. It's my closing thoughts, my final goodbyes to a game that I've loved so dearly that's changed so heavily. It no longer represents what it was. So, if Blade or any of the dev team is watching this, thank you for making a game that heavily impacted my life in such a positive way. And although I don't enjoy the direction you went with it, I wish you the best in your endeavors. Thank you all for listening to me ramble, and have a good one.